Hello everyone, here I am back again after a 2-year hiatus to take advantage of some of the hype surrounding Ages II Definitive Edition. I know Ages 1 Definitive kind of fell flat. I think, for me, I expected a lot out of that one because Ages 1 was the one that I played growing up, so there was a big nostalgia element to it for me. And I think that a decent number of people played Ages 2 coming up, actually. And so that's why they were disappointed in that one, because they expected it to be Age of Empires 2. Or have some of the feeling to it and stuff that Age of Empires 2 had. However, here we have Age of Empires 1. No, we don't. We have Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. And I will say, everybody's already covered this. I've been on it for like a day since it just came out. But all the big YouTubers, all the real YouTubers have already covered it. So I guess what I'm trying to do is just show a little bit of how it feels kind of different to me. But as I play it more and more, it starts to feel more and more like HD. Because for me, I didn't start playing HD, or I didn't play Age of Empires 2 until I played HD. So, for me, I didn't have anything to fall back on, so that is my definitive Age of Empires 2 experience. Now with DE, I think, now I'm going to get into some technical stuff that I don't fully understand, perhaps. My understanding is that the games that came out in the 90s or whatever, like, early 2000s, were like sprite-based, right? I don't know if that's what this is currently, or if this is now 3D models. I know I read an article one time or something about the way a game feels when it's a 3D model versus a sprite. So as opposed to playing just an animation of a little character, it's actually a 3D object interacting in space. Now, so this is cool. I'm actually playing the CUMANs because I wanted to show you guys this feature, which is me putting up a town center in the field. So, you're used to your fast castle trying to get that town center out fast so you can boom. You can kind of hit a little mini boom here in Feudal Age, which kind of makes it weird, because now I feel like I should be clicking all my economy upgrades. I don't know if that necessarily becomes the right answer just by merit of me being able to build a second town center, but it kind of feels right. I'm gonna give it a shot. We're playing Black Forest. They've also opened a bunch of new map types. I haven't tried very many of them yet. It's been interesting. The implementation hasn't been maybe the super seamless thing that I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be like, oh, it's the future now. Everything's gonna go smooth all the time. No, people still have garbage computers, garbage internet connections. You can see down in the right-hand corner here, like Teal, for example, or Cyan, as they call it, I guess, has this little red clock next to him, which is, I guess, the equivalent of the red turtle in the HD game or whatever. Saying there's something screwy on his end. And in fact, our last game dropped. It didn't drop, everybody rage quit, basically. Because one dude's internet connection was so trash that we couldn't get through the game. So now we have one that feels semi-stable, but I will say this frame rate is not as good as what I was experiencing in a few earlier games or when I play by myself. Because you're starting to get some of... they reworked the way that they do matchmaking. I know they do it based on like a server thing now as opposed to like a direct IP connection or something. Again, technical terms that I'm not qualified to speak about. But they did something to try to combat the whole super garbage internet connection from one person ruining the whole game. And maybe I don't have my settings correct to compensate for that or something, but it doesn't feel drastically different in terms of the games I've played so far. So, talking about feel of this game. Visually, it looks amazing. You can do a bunch of stuff that's kind of cool, so you can zoom in, and you can get a good look at that awful frame rate that we're getting right now. But for me, it encounters some of the same weird feel, and maybe this is the 3D model versus sprite thing, the same weird feel that you get when you play Age of Empires 2, and then you go and you play a game like Age of Mythology, and it's a hard feeling to describe, but it feels like your units have like weight and mass to them, like you're having to wait for real things to happen as opposed to just clicking and getting that that little animation to play. Oh, my hotkeys are also different now, which is kind of obnoxious. The default hotkeys are not the same as they are in Aegis HD. However, the other visual thing about it is, I think your brain cues in on certain patterns and stuff that you're used to looking for, and even though it's basically communicating the same type of stuff right now, I'm not feeling the same mental stimuli that I usually feel, or something to that effect, that tells me, hey, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z right now. You know, you talk about build orders and stuff like that. You can see I'm having a really slow feudal, but I guess most people are except Green. He's probably some sort of... I'd say he's a smurf, but nobody's had this game for more than a day, so it's kind of hard to pull that excuse. But things like I would be doing right now, like I should be taking a little bit of stone in preparation for Castle Age. I don't really need a second stone. But yeah, just a little odd. I mean, oh, I don't even have. Did I build my it's that kind of stuff. Really, they look largely the same. Oh, I sold the wrong thing. That was not what I wanted. See, I'm doing it again. All right. Buy my way to castle because I'm woefully behind. But since I'm the... Oops. See, that's like another cool feature. Since I'm the CUMANs, I can do both at the same time, go castle while I'm still booming. Which, if you were more used to this and you know, got some good time in on the CUMANs, I feel like you could probably nail down a new meta for your feudal to castle age transition and do some pretty tricky stuff that might mess with some people. But at this early point in the game, or early point in the definitive edition's release, I'm not really getting the return on investment from that very unique feature yet. So hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be able to explore that a little more and get a little more out of it. So we're going Castle Age. I accidentally sold off all my wood, so I guess it's okay. I'll be a little gold heavy for a moment. Couple cool features. So it shows you up in the corner here how many of each villager type is on each resource. It shows you how many villagers you have total. So for example, you know, you don't have to do your little mental math to figure out how many villagers you actually have. So that's good for those sort of management functions. This game is, no, I wouldn't say heavy on, but definitely provides a few quality of life improvements that people are kind of split about. This indicator right here will light up once you have an idle villager, which they did in the definitive edition for number 1. I think it's fine. I don't, you know, there's a, how did, one of the YouTubers, I can't remember who it was, he described it as, might have been the Viper, he said it doesn't make the overall game like so easy, it just makes the learning curve not as steep, and it allows basically the top players to get even better, and allows the earlier players to kind of get to that medium place a little faster, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, but holy shit, they got a lot of dudes coming at me right now. Try to build this up real fast, 'cause I'm about to lose my stuff. Also, CUMANs maybe not having stone walls, that could be not the most thrilling thing ever, but we'll see. Oh my goodness. It's a shame because I left the YouTube channel for so long. I was getting okay at HD, and now I'm coming back, but I'm trash at DE. I'm gonna throw up a tower here, I guess, just to keep these guys off for a little longer. I don't think that's gonna go up fast enough unless I throw these guys on there too. I could build a castle if I had any stone and get myself to Imperial, which would do question mark. Could also just build a normal build. Let's build a couple of these.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. This dude wants me to stonewall this. I mean, look, I don't think I have stone walls. How do I even, how do I tell? I forget where stone walls are in the tech tree. Palisade wall. Yeah. Yeah, that's really inconvenient. Another, no stone wall civ. I mean, it's not the first one, so obviously it's not... It's not, you know, the end of the world, but a little jarring if you don't expect it. if you know you're not gonna have it, you can build around that. But I mean, here I am in Castle Age and not able to stonewall off my stuff. Which, you know, I have 2 entrances too. Everybody else has 1. It looks like. Everybody else just has 1. I have 2, and I can't stonewall that. That's inconvenient. I could build closer for a little more efficiency here. Some dudes get really aggressive on the outposts they build. I'm gonna go ahead and go Imperial, I guess, since I can. Oh my god. What? Would I have necessarily chosen this civ if I had known for Black Forest if I had known that they didn't have stone walls? Maybe not. But we're learning. We're still in the learning phase. This dude's trading money. We have 1 bad guy in the Imperial Age. My friend, I do not... What is he trying to... Yeah, oh my god. He's still into that. Okay, so also, you have this new feature right here, which is automatic farm reseeding forever. And then these are your ones that you're used to, which are the Q. Oh wait, no. A few of these, build a castle up. I'm gonna put my castle on my backside here, because I don't think otherwise that anybody's going to plus me up on these walls. Because they're not really being team players right now. It's not much to ask, I don't think. Also, this guy's having a hard time. I don't know what his deal is. Okay, they got... I guess they're being a team player in that they are putting a castle in my base, so thanks. And so this is another thing that I'm talking about. So you can see I've got tons of resources right now. And normally, I would be all over a build order to spend those. But I am currently trash. And I'm going to blame it on the new game as long as I can. Even though this is really just a permutation of the existing game. But it looks different. So, since it looks different, you have to give me a break. I'm going to continue to chop through. We're going to end up getting through these. My man. I don't know why he's surprised that that's happening. Of course he's going to. Yeah,
yes.
People are dragging their feet on these age ups. see, this is a cavalry zip. So I need to build. Perfusion, and then you can. Oh, that's kind of neat. 10 free kip track in the castle. Like Cav, train faster. See, this is weird that my first castle went up in Imperial Age. That's a totally backwards. Really backwards build order.
Salam.
Wood heavy. I like that queuing up system though. Multiple things that you don't intersperse your doggone text with your unit builds, and it also tells you up here in the corner what you've got pending in what order. So again, does it make it Barney easy for new players? Maybe, but realistically, does it just provide quality of life improvements and make it so that once players who have been playing for a while get their feet under them, they're going to be able to do stuff that they might not have been able to do in previous games, and it's going to elevate the whole community? I think it's going to. I'm running pretty hard on my food right now. Mounted units. Yeah, so this is like a very... So all the new civs seem to be cavalry raiding type civs. Dude, you saw it. That's your fault, man. I can't do much for you. I'm going to come all the way down there. It's not hard for me to feel a massive amount of sympathy when they're not doing anything to help themselves out. So one thing about queuing buildings and then queuing an action after it, I've had a few times where I think I thought I was making them do what I wanted them to do after they built their building, but then it ended up not being that way. So that's something definitely to just kind of keep an eye out for. Make sure that you're understanding what you're having them do and in what order. Because I had them do stuff like build one house, and I thought they were going to build, like I queued up 3 houses, so I thought they built 3 houses and then go chop wood, but they ended up building 1 house and then going and chopping the wood and leaving the other 2 they didn't build. So that was not super convenient. You have a new technology, it's called supplies, and it decreases the militia line cost by 15 food, as you can undoubtedly read. So that's kind of an interesting thing, and I think that's available to almost every civ, if not every civ. I think it's a game-wide thing. So is this... Where's... I want to see... Okay. Oh, 53 gold, that's not bad gold, Jay. I mean, I could build... build infantry, but I don't see any teams. So here's a question. If I let him have 10 free kip check, what's he gonna do with it? I don't know if that's gonna do anything for him, but then we all have 10 free kip check. I have to read back up on that one and see how much it cost, actually. So, mercenaries... I don't know how much that costs. So, the CUMAN mercenaries tech costs 650 and 400, and it gets you 10 of them. And then, so these are 60 and 35. So 600 and 350. So I mean, that's not bad to give everybody one. You know what I mean? Elite kit check. What?
Stone, please.
Oh, they're already elite. That's kind of stupid. I guess I'll tribute this dude, but I don't know where my tribute bar is. Diplomacy. Okay. Who wanted that? Teal, maybe? Oh, he's just attacking my trade. That's okay. I'm not actually super mad about that. They have these new things called a step lancer. Those are kind of neat. And then they're basically a what did they have in the last game? It was it was a mesosiv thing, and he had the long spear, and it was basically a melee unit with +1 range, so that you wouldn't have to be right up against him to be able to attack. It's a cav unit that has that. So, I think Spirit of the Law did a thing on what that ends up being in practice, and it's pretty beefy. So I'm about to chop through here. Once I chop through, I'm probably just gonna sit a castle right on him. So, hope I'm ready for that. I don't know necessarily that I am.
Please.
You're needy. You're needy, bro. Dude, I actually. Oh, shit. That's not ideal. The new packing animation on the trebuchets is pretty cool. I'm gonna pull these guys off because I don't want any of that. So, please leave. Trash. So I'm gonna move this whole wood line back to here because I don't need that in my life. In fact, I'm gonna move them way back here. Overkill, maybe. So I have the advantage of still having these trees here, so he's going to have to make a pretty quick move on those trees if he wants to stop my tribute. In the meantime, I can still build Kipchaks. It doesn't look like that unique tech that I got that lets you build cav archers and light cav faster. It doesn't look like that affects the Kipchak, which is not ideal for a unit I intend to rely on a little bit. So this dude doesn't seem to be monitoring his castles, so I will just take free castle kills, no worries on that. I guess I'll go down here, start shooting these guys. I'm gonna pull the trigger on these loot controls. Move button is. Oh, it's hard. So, turns out that these Kipchaks can melt stuff, so that's pretty cool. No worries there. Pull these guys back. Just let them go to work. Trebs made pretty short work of that castle. This guy's a freaking loser. I almost cursed, but I think YouTube gets angry at you now. Go all in on this castle. Oh, he's done it. Okay. If these dudes don't stonewall it, then that's their fault. I can't do everything. I can't stonewall if I don't have a civ that has stonewalls, you know? Unless I just do the thing I asked you to do. Maybe we won't lose right here, right now. But no guarantees. I don't know what this trip's trying. Yep, here they come, bro. You done screwed up. Stop. No, that's, oh my god, that what's it? The stop command changed to G, and the no attack stance changed to F. So you can't stop your archers anymore to try to get them to engage the enemy. That's a big oopsie. God. Where's my... Like, I'm winning, right? Right? Going in. Go in. Hit the freaking. Hit the gate, man. Just bring it down, please. What is taking so long? I can't even see what's going on. Just take a few of those guys. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm trying to attack move him in there. Dude, build a gate! This guy's a moron. This is what we call bad teammates. Green's all over his face. Accuracy. Run low on food stores. Balance those skins a bit. Dude. Camels. You're sending light cab to a camel fight, bro. That's a mistake. The question is, what happens if I come up here? Bust it as well as up here. Yeah, melt him. Through the breach. Boom. Boom. Put a bunch of these dudes here. Build a lot of these guys. I'd build even more if I had a doggone. What you calls it? There's another castle. Ooh. Need some stuff. See, like, that's the. Yeah. The whole not processing visual information thing as well. It's not doing great for me. Like I know for a fact that it's siege in there. How you gonna play a game with siege? Wow. This is well played. Not really well played. So we're about to lose it, but whatever. Still kind of shaky here. Kip shacks are awesome. I'm liking it. Those animations, though. They are sweet. So I love for another guy. Even sounds like a trebuchet. Oh. That's not good. Ding ding. That's gonna be laughably not enough, but because they got what, paladins? Oh. Well, let's see if camels will do anything against paladins. I know that's the counter for them, but they're not heavy. Wait, no, that's a step lancer. I'm gonna give it a big try here. Oh. Get in there. See if the big send is enough. Oh, that's not too bad. I can get him out of here though. Put up another. Okay. Oh, they've got more. They have more. And there's a bunch of Kipchaks back here. Those villagers aren't gonna make it. What if I send even more camels to strike down the Kipchaks? This thing. This is where the little bit of lag is kind of missing, man.
What?
These guys right back on the town center right here. Okay. So we cleaned them up, something. We repelled the attack. What? Oh my god. This is the counter. This is the counter. Come on. Get him! Oh yeah. Wrong unit. Send these down to help, I guess. This is where it becomes inconvenient because I don't have stone walls to slow down this onslaught. Do I even have murder holes? I don't even think I researched that. So I'm in trouble. Where's even my... Nope, sure didn't. Guess I'll take some now. And run.
What?
Did I? Oh? Now the question is, are all my camels dead? No. Lombard tower. Ah, dude, I can't clutch a 3v1. Not even on HD can I clutch a 3v1. I'm not very good. Probably gonna call the GG on this one. Unless I can come up with some kind of other trickery. I don't. No. Probably not. Probably cannot. I got 2 confirmation. So I'm gonna call it a resign on that one. And yeah. So welcome back to the Dylan Plays YouTube channel. Welcome back to Age of Empires with its new definitive edition. This is probably the one I'm going to be playing on for a little bit. Maybe also a little bit of Fortnite because I recently got into that because I'm a 12-year-old man-child. So those will probably be the 2 things that are going to be rolling out of the chute here in the next coming days and weeks, and then see where we go from there. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.